everyone, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews, and today we have another Collecta dinosaur, and not only another Collecta dinosaur, but it is another of the 2018 lineup. It is the Dimetrodon, and it is awesome, absolutely awesome. Now, before I even get into reviewing this model of this prehistoric reptile, I will say that you'll probably get quite a few Collecta reviews out of me because I did just get a nice little box full of Collecta products. So I have quite a few that are sitting here with me that I do want to get reviewed as soon as possible. So odds are you'll have quite a few Collecta reviews this week, but that shouldn't be a problem with anyone because Collecta is awesome. So going back to this model, I want to say right away that one of my favorite parts about this is the fact that they put these little rips and tears in the sail. That is so stinking cool because as far as I can recall, I don't remember any other of the mainstream companies doing anything like that where they had altered the sail a slight bit. And odds are, if this thing was alive back in the day, which obviously it was, it wouldn't have a picture-perfect, beautiful sail just there to pose and look pretty for everybody because it was a pretty rough life back in the prehistoric days. So odds are it would have these tears, and here's a little tear here and a little hole here in the sail. So that is fantastic that they decided to do that. It gives it such an extra look of realism that I just can't even describe how happy I am that they've done that because I love Dimetrodon. It is probably my favorite prehistoric reptile. So for them to make this, it is absolutely awesome. I've been wondering what a Collecta Dimetrodon would look like for quite a while, and now that they finally released one, it has definitely exceeded my expectations. And let's get a closer look, and you can see if it exceeds yours. Now you can see looking here at the head is very nicely sculpted. It really is. It looks beautiful the way they've done this. It looks about as accurate as I could possibly expect. You can see here, I'll open the mouth, there's an articulated jaw, and you can see that they have done that nice little arch in the jaw, which is a beautiful trait of Dimetrodon. The inside of the mouth looks very good. Nicely done detail all over on the tongue and the upper side of the mouth. It's a little hard to see right now, but trust me when I tell you, it is there. You can see nicely done detail all over this thing. The sculpt work of the entire head looks fantastic. The nostrils are sculpted out beautifully. They look very, very good. And one thing that I cannot get over at all, the eyes are glossed so well. They look fantastic. You really just, I can't explain it unless you see it in person, just how nicely glossed these eyes are. It really makes it look like it's a living, breathing animal because the eyes are so perfectly glossed. They just look completely real to me. It almost creeps me out that it feels like it's staring at me. The overall paint scheme of this, I really do like. I think it's a very cool look. They've done a fantastic job with that. Taking a look here at the sail, you can see that it is beautifully colored and beautifully sculpted. Love that they've added in these little spikes that stick out around the sail. Coloration on them, in my opinion, is a very realistic color. I love that they have put different darker tones to them as they get closer to the edge there of the sail. I also love the difference of coloration in the sail and the rest of the body here with the different greens. You can see there's different tones of green all over the place, which was a very cool touch. Because of the coloration of many real live living animals today, you can tell if you look at them, they have different tones all over their bodies, and that's one thing that I've always stressed about different dinosaurs, is that I think when they give the dinosaurs different tone and variation in the color, it makes them have such a more realistic appearance, and they have definitely done that with this Dimetrodon. As I said before, I absolutely love these little slices and cuts in the sail because that gives it an extra bit of realism that other companies have not done previously, because a lot of companies just give them those beautiful, perfect sails like nothing has ever happened to them, and Collecta has chosen not to do that, and they've given him some damage to his sail, some wounds that have healed up, and that is beautiful and a fantastic touch. Great attention to detail to what this reptile would probably look like if it were alive today. I did mention that it has an articulated jaw. As you can see, the articulated jaw works beautifully. Absolutely no problems with it whatsoever. You can open it to whatever width you would like, however far open you'd like it. Goes to wherever, and it works perfectly. The teeth are also sculpted really nicely, sculpted individually, which I always do love. I think that always gives dinosaur models and other prehistoric, as this is obviously not a dinosaur, it's a prehistoric reptile, but other prehistoric models, a beautiful touch when they do the teeth individually. Gives them such a more realistic look. The neck is sculpted very nicely. You can see a little bit of skin folds here and there. The underside as well, very beautiful scaling. The entire underside of the neck and the underside of the jaw, beautifully done there. The legs are sculpted out very nicely. Beautiful reptilian-like legs, exactly as they would have looked on this animal. Some more skin folds here in the shoulder area. And then again, some beautiful skin folds here on the side. Can't really see the rib cage or anything on this animal, but that could just mean that it's well fed. He apparently has a nice food supply where he lives. The claws are just a plain black color, but they look okay. There's a good gloss on them, giving them an extra bit of realism in that department as well. Collecta has definitely upped their game previously with the gloss that they use, as I mentioned, with the gloss eye here, and the gloss in the claws, and they've also started to add gloss to the nostrils of a lot of their models. I don't really see it on this one, but I did see it on the Iguanodon that they've released for this year, so they're definitely doing that, which is a great addition to their models. You can see some nice little bumps all over the place, all over the animal, so it's a very rigid feeling. You can feel just the realism when you touch it. So there's some beautiful sculpt work that has gone into this, and then the tail looks very good. Nice long tail, perfectly straight, so it's out walking. And then the underside detail, as Collecta always does, which I've mentioned numerous times, is a great touch. You can see that the underside is a cream yellowish type color, and then it gets to a darker brown color here on the tail. The underside of the feet are actually a darker brown as well, because they should be a little dirty, walking on the earth all the time on the dirt and stuff. You're not going to have perfectly clean undersides of the feet, so there's again another nice touch by Collecta. Both sides look great. Some more skin folds here on the front leg, and you can see the skin really pulling as the front leg is extended. Same goes with the back leg. Again, you can see the skin being pulled just as the leg is extended backward, and you can actually see the skin here by the tail. It has scrunched up a little bit because of it pushing against the tail as the back leg is out. So again, very cool that they've added that. As usual, Collecta does a fantastic job of paying attention to the minor details that one might not notice normally, giving their models a much more realistic appearance. And as I said before, the sail looks beautiful on both sides. And if I were to be pick out my only problem with this figure, which really there is not much at all, it is that the paint right here on the sail has been dry brushed on, and if you look at it, you can see it looks a little sloppy. It doesn't look perfect. It looks more like, I don't know if it's something with this color here that Collecta likes to use, because honestly it was the same type of a color that I saw in their Spinosaurs that had this same type of an effect, but it kind of looks like you can tell it's just paint that's been dry brushed on as opposed to an actual coloration of an animal. You can see, just looking at it, it looks more like dry brushed paint than actually being part of the skin color. But it doesn't look terrible, especially if you take even just the slightest step back. Look, you can no longer notice it at all, and it just gives it a beautiful appearance. So overall, as I said previously when I first looked at it, this Dimetrodon by Collecta has completely exceeded my expectations. I had looked forward to a Dimetrodon from Collecta for so long, because as far as I can recall, I don't remember them ever having one. A lot of times they'll make a model of something a while back and then they remake it for a much more updated, realistic look, but I can't recall them ever having a Dimetrodon. I could be wrong. Maybe one was retired, or I just somehow have overlooked it, but I can't recall them ever having one. So them making this one was great. I was really super looking forward to it, and it is a beautiful rendition of this animal, this prehistoric reptile, and as you can see, it's a very good size too. It's not very small, so it's not huge either, so don't get me wrong. It's not like you buy this and you no longer have room on your shelf for any other dinosaurs, because trust me, that is not the case. And as you can see, it's very narrow and thin, but it's pretty much a perfect size, I would say, for the Dimetrodon. As far as the size goes, you're looking at about 7.5 inches long and about 4.5, oh, I knocked him over, about 4.5 inches tall. So he is beautiful as far as size goes. He is beautiful as far as the detail goes, and he is beautiful as far as the paint goes. And honestly, if you guys do end up buying one of these, just check out the eye when you get it, because that eye is just unbelievable. I just can't get over it. Gotta keep mentioning it. The eye, the gloss on the eye is just awesome. It looks so good, giving this model just such a great sense of realism. It really looks like a living animal because of that. So I can commend Collecta on that. And as I said, honestly, the only thing that I could even potentially complain about is just that this paint has been dry brushed on a little bit sloppily, and I don't know if that's an issue with that actual color of paint, because like I mentioned, that was on the Spinosaurus and it was the same type of a look, but it's really not even a big problem. But it's just a very minor complaint. It's just that paint has been kind of sloppily dry brushed on, whereas the rest of the paint looks beautiful the way it's been done. A beautiful Dimetrodon by Collecta. So I will link you guys in the description as to where you can purchase this prehistoric reptile, this beautiful rendition of a Dimetrodon. And please like, comment, and subscribe, guys. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.